What's going on, y'all? I hope everybody is feeling fantastic this morning. So let's go ahead and jump all into these topics. So the first thing I want to discuss is the protest that went down in Mexico City over the weekend, specifically July 4th. While everybody here in America, most of everybody, was out there grilling, having a good time with family and friends, Mexico took it upon themselves to protest against gentrification. Now, it was reported that for the most part, the protests remained peaceful, but from what I've seen, things went left very quick. There was a handful of protesters that were with the SHITS, and they showed it full on display. So what I'm going to do right here is insert these clips so you all can get a glimpse of what was going down and what transpired on July 4th and how things went. Check it out.
So did y'all see what Mexico City did for the 4th of July? They protested against gentrification. There were marches held in several points of Mexico City. We know that gentrification is a huge issue in several cities across Mexico. There were businesses that were even vandalized. I want to say that the majority of the protests were peaceful, but there were some that were not. Now, we know that gentrification is a big issue, and there's people from all over the world that move into Mexico City, but it is symbolic that Mexico City chose to protest on American Independence Day. This sign says, "Foreigners love Mexico, but Mexicans." That was a very direct statement. I think with everything going on in the U.S., that was definitely targeted towards Americans, not any other foreigner from a certain nationality.
As a U.S. citizen that has immigrated to another country, these protests against people from the United States in Mexico City scare me. But I also understand the anger behind it, and I am sympathetic to those who are protesting. This anger is both predictable and in many cases well-deserved. The pretext for the protests is anti-gentrification. It is getting harder and harder for poor people and middle-class people to survive in Mexico City. And so they are blaming foreigners who are coming in. And that should sound familiar to you because it is the flip side of the same coin being passed around in the United States, where it is getting harder and harder for poor and middle-class people to survive. And so they are being told in the United States, it's also the foreigners, it's those immigrants from down south. And the reality is, in neither country is it the immigrants that are causing the problems. The problem is that our economic system is inherently and systematically designed to allow the rich to take advantage of the middle class and the poor. And they distract you from that by getting you to blame each other. And it works. It works inside the United States because there is a underlying racism that is permeating throughout the country where they just don't want people that look different from them to be in the country. And so blame those people that you don't like and that make you uncomfortable. Sure, you'll buy into that in a heartbeat. That's why I'm so sympathetic towards the anger that is being demonstrated to us gringos in these protests, because I would feel the same way. They are watching their mothers be taken by masked men in front of their children. They're watching their fathers who have lived in the United States for 40 years and provided for them being ambushed when they go to their immigration hearings. They're watching U.S. citizens be harassed because their American heritage doesn't match up with the American heritage of the people in power. They are watching their family members disappear in U.S. custody and then black flights taking them to horrible prisons all over the world. So if you're a white U.S. citizen watching these videos come out of Mexico City and they scare you and terrify you as to the way that you could be treated just because of the way that you look, good. Maybe you'll begin to be empathetic to the way that we are making them feel. And the sad but very predictable future is that United States citizens are going to be treated worse and worse throughout the world because we are treating the citizens of the world worse and worse in the United States. The answer to this division and this hatred that is being peddled to us by our politicians and by the rich to distract us from the real cause of our problems is to adopt an ethos of dignity and respect towards each other. The answer comes not from building walls, but from tearing them down, because all of us are a human family, and our peace and prosperity comes not from fighting against each other, but fighting for each other.
All right, so you guys just saw and heard all of that, and in my honest opinion, it's to be expected. You can't expect the Mexican people to stand down when they're being treated like dogs over here and being separated from their families and things like that. And then Americans have the unmitigated gall to go over there to Mexico and basically set up shop and bring all those businesses there, which increase their cost of living. That is not fair, and that is just unjust. So what do you think they're going to do? Just sit down and just eat their food? No, they're going to respond. And they did it on Independence Day to send a sheer message that, hey, we are bucking up. And I know that some of us have the mindset that, hey, the Mexicans, they went into that booth and voted against their own interest. And so whatever is happening to them, they brought it on themselves. And I understand that to the 10th power. But at the end of the day, what I'm hoping from all of this, that they finally wake up and see that we're actually stronger together than divided, and that your so-called proximity to whiteness is all an illusion. It's just a mechanism to keep us divided, because at the end of the day, they don't want anyone to join the black community to fight the good fight, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, the same agenda applies to you. You mean nothing to them. So I just hope that they finally see that, and that they're able to put those negative stereotypes to the side and ultimately understand that at the end of the tunnel, where there is light, that we're all in this together. So that's my only hope. But anyway, let's move along, because guys, devastation has stricken Texas in the worst way. Have you guys seen all of the news about the floods and things of that nature? There are over 80 people that have been deleted, and they're saying that dozens more are missing. This is very catastrophic and extremely heartbreaking, to say the absolute least. I want you guys to check out these clips, and then I'll be back.
Okay, my house is flooding. Anybody out there? I have my dad on hospice, and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden. He can't walk. He can hardly move. And look where the water is. So somebody, please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come look. We've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years, and this has never happened. So anybody, please, if you have a boat or something, I need help. I need to get my dad out of here. It's starting to smell like sewer in here.
Do you see what's been happening in Texas, where there have been massive floods? People have died. Children at a camp have gone missing, and people are ready to blame Trump for all of this. These images coming out of Kerrville happened after the Guadalupe River flooded after heavy rains. As of right now, the death toll in Texas has reached 27 people, with 9 children dying, which 2 girls who died when Camp Mystic flooded, and also the flooding of the camp has left over 20 children missing. Now, Texas officials are blaming Donald Trump and his administration for their inability to respond to this crisis quickly. Texas officials during a news conference confirmed that them, along with local news, were getting their forecast from the National Weather Service, which has been inaccurate since Trump, with the help of Doge, fired hundreds of workers from the National Weather Service and NOAA. And officials during the press conference said that they, along with local news, were getting national weather reports saying that there was going to be about 3 to 6 inches and 4 to 8 inches of rain in different parts. But the amount of rain that fell in these locations was never in any of their forecasts. In fact, some areas got closer to 13 inches, And places like Kerrville, where you saw the cars floating away, got 6.5 inches of rain in just 3 hours, a once in 100-year rainfall event. And with that inaccurate information, it made it impossible for locals to be able to prepare. And of course, when he was asked about it, he was shocked that this happened, saying that he's working with the governor to try and help people. How? With FEMA, the same program that Trump is trying to abolish? And also the timing couldn't have been more ironic. The same weekend where he signed the big, beautiful bill that cuts trillions to essential services. And remember, all of these budget cuts to programs like the National Weather Service or FEMA are so him and his rich buddies can keep their tax breaks. Unfortunately, the more they continue to cut essential services to program, the more we're going to continue to see disasters like these. Now, experts do believe that there is still going to be more rainfall and more flooding in Texas, but how much is still unclear because, again, the cuts to the National Weather Service. This is also a developing story, so I'll try to bring you information as it comes in. And as always, please consider becoming a paid subscriber on here so I can continue bringing you stories like these.
Happy Saturday, y'all. Oh my God. It is flooding out here in Central Texas. We just got a notice that we need to evacuate my apartment. Now, those of y'all that follow me, y'all know that I come out here on my patio often and I show you where the deer and stuff are down there. He making rounds. He making rounds. He making rounds. But this is a river. We live in between two rivers, and this river is flooded. That is high. Like normally, I want to say that this is probably a good 12 feet above ground or more. Thankfully, we up here on the second floor, but the rain is continuing to come. It's supposed to rain all day, and it's getting pretty crazy. We are getting flooded out. I'm talking about seriously. It is bad. Look at that. The flooding is flooding, and it ain't nothing to play with. Over here it's okay, but it's a matter of time. I ain't taking no chances with it. I'm getting the heck up out of here.
So yo, I need y'all to pay attention to this video.
I think there's going to be something that has to do with a camp. I think there's going to be something about something happening at a camp. It kind of felt like a sleepaway camp to me, but it could be just a campground in general. But there will be something that happens with a camp. So I saw that.
Did y'all listen to everything this lady said? She made this video on June the 26th, and I recorded it so y'all could see the actual date from her video. This lady spoke about something days before it even happened, and it came true. July 4th. Yo, the death toll is now 80 people in Texas. And the governor just warned that it's more rain to come. And yo, the crazy part, this is only the beginning of hurricane season. We still have to the end of the year before hurricane season is out. Yo, I don't think y'all know how difficult and crazy this could get. Prayers to the family, and y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, because yo, this is a lot. This is a lot. And TikTok, this is for entertainment purpose only. I'm only on here to bring awareness to my friends for educational purposes only. Y'all like, share, comment, and repost. Bye, y'all.
All right, so you guys just seen all of that, and there were a lot of more videos, but I decided not to post them here because they were that traumatic, where people were just trying to hold on for dear life. If you guys want to check those videos out, they're trending all over X and TikTok. But this is a travesty, and I understand that there are some people out there that's saying that this is an act of God, and a lot of people feel like something like this was bound to happen to a place like Texas because of their racist ideology and all of the racism that exists there. And I will say personally that I'm praying for all the victims. I'm praying for the people that are missing. I hope that they're still alive somewhere, holding on for dear life. My moral compass won't allow me to not feel some type of empathy for those victims and everybody that's involved, because this is a true travesty that has taken place in the state of Texas. And listen, we can point the finger here and we can point the finger there, but I think as Americans collectively, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, independents, and things of that nature, we need to start pointing the finger at ourselves. We need to wake up out of this spell. We need to come together. There's no political parties anymore. It's the American people against the government. And once we come together and we start to stand and take strides together to make this a better place for you and I hate to sound like we are the world, but I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Then we can affect change, and then we can see some progress in moving this country in the right direction. Because right now, this is a very trying time for Americans, for Latinos, for Mexicans, for a lot of people. America is under duress. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything I discussed. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.